Hello everyone. Thank you so much for joining me. This is our second live of the week. Hi Kathy, thanks for joining. We'll wait a couple of minutes just to see if anyone else wants to join the live. We're going to start with Capricorn, Sun, Moon, and Rising, and we are reading for June 28th to July 4th. And we're going to start with Capricorn and work ourselves all the way down to Sagittarius. I've got my space ready here for you, and I'm really looking forward to seeing what's going on for all of the placements for the upcoming week. Hope everyone is having a nice weekend. Hi, Kathy. And hopefully everyone is enjoying whatever weather they're experiencing. It's really warm where I am today, so I've got the fan on. Hopefully it's not making too much noise. And we're going to get started here with Capricorn, Sun, Moon, and Rising. Okay, what's going on for Capricorn this week? Let's have a look. Okay, Capricorn, Sun, Moon, and Rising. It looks like my Capricorns are starting to ask themselves if this is the right path for them. Are they on the right path? Do you feel that, Capricorn, right now? Are you wondering, should you stay or should you go? Should you keep investing in what you're investing in, or should you start investing in a new path, potentially? Something that speaks to your emotions, something that speaks to a transformation that you're experiencing. Yes, it looks like for the Capricorns that this is resonating for. You're examining all the hard work you've done so far and deciding whether or not you want to switch paths or stay where you are. Now, I am looking at the outcome here, and I think you're going to make a move. I don't think you're going to stay where you are, Capricorn. Hi, Michelle. Who else has joined us? Hi, Luz. Oh, that's so nice. Who else has joined? Leanne. That's awesome. So nice to see you guys. Now, you know, it really looks like for Capricorn, you are going to make a shift towards something that speaks to your emotional and intuitive side. However, having said that, this process of transformation is going to be tricky for you, Capricorn. It's we've got two cards in reverse here, so that really tells me that this outcome is going to be a challenge, but you're going to go for it. And it looks like you are really being guided to take the action of trusting that this is all divinely timed. Okay, this is all divinely timed, but there looks like there's a sacrifice that has to be made, and you are in the grips of trying to face that, but it's challenging you, Capricorn. You are challenged to understand and to accept the outcome that involves sacrifice, because it's going to feel emotional for you. It's going to be an emotional sacrifice, but when I see the Chariot here as the outcome, that really tells me, Capricorn, that you're going to go for it. You are going to make a move. You know, like there's lots of cards in the tarot to suggest that you're gonna make a decision. But the fact that it's the Chariot really suggests to me that not only are you going to make a decision, but you're going to really depart from where you are now. That could be a physical departure, or that could be an emotional and an intuitive departure, a mental departure, where you stop telling yourself the same messages. You stop pursuing things that don't speak to your emotions or your intuition. And this is really interesting here, but there is a challenge for you in respect to understanding the truth behind your efforts, and you are being guided to really trust the process when it comes to this transformation, my dear Capricorns, because it is going to feel so unfamiliar for some of you. For some of you, it feels like you're already doing this. It feels like you're sort of already in the grips of trying to understand this transformation that you've been undergoing for some time. Now, let's see, what is the major arcana energy for my Capricorns for June 28th to July 4th? Oops. Hierophant, yeah, you're going to be coming into some truth here, my dear Capricorns. You are going to start to understand all of this. You may have to sign some documents. You may be making agreements. You may be, you know, looking at the details of how are you going to go about this new idea that you have that is a departure from where you're at today. The Hierophant is the masculine energy that is like the priest or the spiritual guide, the teacher, the knower of the truth, right? The Hierophant knows spiritual and universal truths, and this could be you right now, or this could be someone who's come into your life to try and help you understand things. It could be a Taurus. Hierophant is a Taurus energy. So there could be a Taurus or a Cancer, that's the Chariot energy here, that is helping you understand the truth behind your transformation. You are definitely undergoing a brand new phase of your life, and it seems like things are really going to pick up this week for you. So in terms of the guiding energy from the oracle cards, let's see what guidance my Capricorns may need in the way of words of encouragement. Oops, woo, lots of cards wanting to fly out. Go the distance. Yeah, you've got to go for it. And I think you know that, Capricorn. When I see the Chariot card here as your final guidance and then go the distance as your oracle message, that really tells me that whatever it is that you're feeling, remember, this is a Page of Cups. So this is something you're feeling. It's not something that you see in the physical world yet. Right now, this is something that's in your mind. This is in your intuition. It's an inspiration that you have. Something has come into your emotion, your intuition, that is guiding you towards something. It hasn't been materialized yet. And you need to go the distance to see this through. You're going to need to see this through. This is something I really feel is you're being divinely guided to this. And the Chariot is really a symbol of letting your intuition take the lead, letting your intuition drive this chariot, not being terribly logical, you know, using the universal truths in a way that resonates for you, even if you don't see evidence in the physical world yet. You know what I mean? So this is a very interesting energy here for my Capricorns. I just want to clarify, will the Eight of Swords in reverse here, I want to see if that's going to cause any significant delays. What's going on with this Eight of Swords? Is my Capricorn fearing consequences, or are they overthinking things? Look at that, Seven of Pentacles again. That was the first card you got in this reading right here. So when I asked, are you overthinking things? I think the answer is yes. You're having a hard time detaching from some of this security you've built in the physical world. It's almost like you need to take a leap of faith and understand that you are divinely protected, and that if there is something that you are feeling on a soul or an intuitive level that you want to pursue, you're going to be supported. But it might involve taking a leap of faith away from some of this bush that you've gardened up to where it is here, right? You've been working hard on the path that you're on, but you're really at a point where you want to make a change. You feel that there is a choice that has to be made, and the guidance for you here is to go the distance. See it through. Don't give up. Don't give up just because you can't see results yet, Capricorn. And you know, I'm a Capricorn sun, so I'm certainly resonating with this as well. Because it can be tempting, right? When you can't see evidence of what you're doing. You know, if you're doing a lot of stuff and you can't see any evidence in the physical world of it sort of going somewhere, there's a temptation to just want to go, well, maybe I'm investing in the wrong thing. Maybe I'm not choosing right, which could throw you into a place where you start to overthink every single decision you make, or every single outcome could become like this, you know, negative instead of a positive. Instead of thinking about what could go right, you might be sitting around thinking about how things could go horribly, horribly wrong. Capricorn, that's not going to serve you, my dear, dear Capricorns. You need to tap into this energy, the energy of universal truth. You know, sometimes when I get this card, when I do readings for myself, this card always makes me think I need to maybe have a Reiki treatment, or maybe I need to do a reading with someone else who could be more objective. You know, someone who doesn't know me at all personally. Sometimes that can be a very eye-opening thing when you get a reading done from someone who has no idea who you are or anything about you, and then all of a sudden they come at you and say something like a truth bomb. I almost feel like my Capricorns need a truth bomb, but I feel like they also need something in the physical world to encourage them. Please let me be your physical world encouragement right now, Capricorns. Go the distance. Whatever it is that's on your mind that you want to get up to, I think you should go for it. Give it a try. You know, you don't have to invest your life savings in it. You don't have to, you know, move halfway across the world to start. Yeah, I don't know. I feel guided to say you can start with one little step. You know what I mean? You can start with one little step every day, doing something to get you closer to whatever it is that you are feeling guided to do. Wow, really nice. Okay, Capricorns, thank you so much. I'm going to leave it at that for my Capricorns. We're going to run through all of the signs today, this afternoon. I'm going to do this every Sunday. I'm very excited about offering this to you here on Instagram, and the videos are always posted on YouTube and Instagram TV. I think it's called IGTV afterwards, so that you can watch them later if you miss the live. Okay, my friends, let's jump right into Aquarius and see what's going on for Aquarius, Sun, Moon, and Rising for the period of June 28 to July the 4th. Okay, Aquarius. I just did the Aquarius reading for my YouTube channel, so I'm curious if it's going to have a similar message. The Capricorn one certainly did. So let's see what's going on here for Aquarius for the upcoming week. Okay, you know what? It's looking really similar to the reading I did for YouTube for Aquarius. Okay, my dear Aquarius friends here, what's going on? Well, you are being challenged right now by the end of some pretty secure identity in the physical world, okay? The Ten of Pentacles in reverse suggests, first of all, the Ten of Pentacles on its own suggests that you have reached a state of completion or culmination in the physical world when it comes to feeling secure and understanding your identity. Typically, when you see this card upright, it can suggest a marriage. It can suggest a very secure commitment has been made, and you can see the flags are protecting that couple. So it's like this is a no touch. These two have committed to each other and they are being protected, right? But this is in reverse. So that tells me that something amiss has happened either in your sense of security or in a union that you define yourself by, like a marriage potentially, or a very strong commitment that you feel. Sometimes, I mean, don't shoot the messenger, but sometimes when I see this, it's a codependency. It's not a union that's in harmony. It's a codependent union that is not really harmonious because it's codependent. It's feeding off each other instead of, interacting with each other in a positive way that's sort of encouraging everybody to be themselves. Codependent relationships tend to rely heavily on each other, so that once this union ends, or if it ends, then the people are lost. They're lost without each other because they've been defining themselves by each other. So my dear Aquarius has been going through it, okay? So something is changing in the physical world for Aquarius, and it is really about reestablishing some feminine energy. I mean, it's not gendered, but it's like there seems to be this overwhelming need to reconnect to your feminine energy, which is very creative and inspired and nurturing and creative and very much self-enriching. Okay, so this really does solidify to me that whatever this was codependent, was not harmonious in a healthy way. There was an unhealthy reliance on each other, not one that is built on harmony and support, more dependence. You know what I mean? And so it's almost like you're being taken down the pathway of understanding creation and your role in creation, and how to nurture change, and how to tap into your intuition and your emotions to understand how to be the most creative version of yourself. I would suggest that my Aquarius friends are really starting to understand themselves. The King of Swords is Aquarius energy, and it has landed in the position to describe the pathway that you're on. So really, Aquarius, it couldn't be clearer. You are on the pathway of trying to understand yourself outside of this union that was very codependent. Now it's time for my Aquarius friends to become this embodiment of themselves, the aspect of themselves that is strategic, intellectual, and can shift mentally like a chameleon depending on what's required. However, Aquarius, you need some time to withdraw from others in order to sort of regenerate your mental power from this codependent thing that ended here in the 10, because it looks like you are going to start a new path. Now, as you are walking this new path, it's interesting, the guidance Spirit is giving you here as your action is to be authentic, but to balance out authenticity with how much are you telling people, right? Like, it's almost like, it's interesting. When I see this card, it's like you see the swords are split. It's a 7 of Swords. The individual here is running off with 5 of them. They've left 2 behind. So it's almost like they're saying, I don't need to share my whole vision of what's going on in my life with people. I have to protect my golden egg a little bit. So I'm going to be authentic. I'm not going to lie. I'm not going to be dishonest, but I'm not going to necessarily indicate to the whole world everything that's going on about why I'm making this shift. Do you know what I mean? It's like you're only going to share the relevant details, or maybe none at all. Aquarius, you might just want to pick up and flee from the situation you're in. You might be tempted to just start over again in a very true to you way. And by the way, the 7 of Swords is also Aquarius. So you've got 2 cards here that are Aquarian energy in your reading. So that really says to me, Aquarius, whatever journey you're going on forward, whatever it is that you're going to be doing in the upcoming summer months, but something is starting for you this week. You're going to be doing yourself. You're putting yourself first. You are trying to get over this situation, okay, this codependent end, and you are trying to find yourself again. You're trying to understand, who am I outside of this relationship? And the final guidance card for you here is that your inner joy, your inner celebration is challenged. On an inner level, I can feel you right now, Aquarius. You're, pardon the expression, but you're a little bummed out. You're not feeling the celebration that you thought you would. You're not feeling the inner reward that you thought you would. You're going through it right now, Aquarius. Right now, the predominant energy around you is, I gotta be authentic, I gotta be me. I gotta be me, I gotta be me. That's what I hear you saying, I gotta be me. And temperance. Temperance is the overwhelming guidance here for you. You've got to be patient as you make this shift. It takes time for water to go from one cup to another. It takes time. And you need to be mindful of this experience, because when we see the Empress and Temperance here, this is Sagittarius energy. I really feel like you are, you're changing things, but you need to be patient and present and mindful, very mindful about what it is that you want as an outcome here, and patient, understanding that everything is divinely timed, and so you can't rush this. sometimes when we try and rush things, we actually end up sort of making more delays, because it's all divinely timed. You can't really rush how fast the water flows from cup to cup, but you can certainly delay the process. My goodness, we can introduce delays all over the place, can't we? And so really, when I see temperance, I always think, just be careful what the inner story is. What is the storyline you're telling yourself? Because you could inadvertently manifest experiences that you don't want. You know what I mean? Now, yeah, mending, healing. My dear Aquariuses, you've got to heal from this first. This end has rocked you. Okay, Aquarius, I've seen it in all the Aquarian readings I've been doing. There is some significant healing you need to do before you can move forward to really understand yourself outside of this codependent relationship. So, my dear Aquarius friends, my goodness, let's clarify a couple of these things for you. Let's clarify the Empress. Thank you. Ooh, oh my goodness, 7 of Swords again. I love that. We had that just happen for Capricorn as well. So 7 of Swords again, to clarify the Empress. This is saying authenticity over strategy. You're an Aquarius. This is you. This card and the King of Swords is you. And one of the biggest dilemmas an Aquarius faces is the idea of being strategic versus authentic. Because there's nothing that an Aquarius can do better than shift mentally. Aquariuses can shift and adapt mentally to situations like no other sign. Like no other sign. Right? They are the mental wizards. They can really get around things by shifting their perspective, right? But in this case, you are really questioning your level of authenticity. It's like you really want to be you. You want to be you, and you want people to be okay with it. But you know, I'm not seeing a lot of interaction with the external world here. It's almost like you need to heal yourself so that you're okay with the authentic you. That's the thing I'm seeing here, is that you need to heal so that you can be you and start to feel this inner level of celebration that's a little absent right now. You're not feeling it just yet, I think, because you need some healing. You need to mend something from the past. I think you need to mend this, not to get back with this person, but to really understand this situation for what it was and then let it go. You've got to feel it, heal it, and let it go, Aquarius. Not your favorite thing to do, but once you decide that it's important, then you'll do it. Only then will you do it. When you decide it's really important, Aquarius. Wow. Okay, Aquarius, that's your reading for the week. You need to be patient, my dear friend, and heal the pain of the loss of this codependent relationship, understanding that it wasn't a loss. Being in a codependent relationship is almost like the ground for moving up, right? Like if you're at a codependent relationship, there's nowhere to go but up from there. You've got to sort of understand who you are, and then you start to level up after that. That's when you're going to start to feel those inner celebrations. That's when you're going to start to feel authentic, is because you're going to heal from that codependency. You're going to understand, who are you? Who are you outside of that relationship? Maybe that codependent relationship was limiting who you are, Aquarius. You know, it's when we get redirected from things, it's because it's important for us to move into a new phase of our lives. And so, you know, Aquarius, sending you lots of love and light as you mend from that codependent relationship. Okay, let's move on to Pisces, Sun, Moon, and Rising. Let's see what messages for the week do we have for Pisces. Sun, Moon, and Rising for Pisces. Let's see. Thank you. Okay. Ooh, look at all these cups. Cups. Okay. Yeah, you know, the readings I've been doing for Pisces have been very emotional. The Pisces people that I read for, I guess, are really going through an emotionally turbulent time where they're going through a big life switch. Like things are really changing for Pisces right now, and it's hitting them emotionally. Okay, so Pisces, right now, the thing that needs to be brought into alignment for you this week is your wishes. What do you want, Pisces? Are you actively thinking about your ultimate wish? What is the best case scenario for you? What is it? You need to start daydreaming more about this best case scenario, because you could have it. You know, I see the Wheel of Fortune as your final guidance, but it's in reverse. And so that tells me that you are sort of resisting change, maybe because you're not even sure what a perfect ending would be for you. What is the thing you want the most, right? What is the thing that your heart desires? What do you emotionally desire the most? Well, I would suggest that from looking at these cards, the reason you're unable to tap into that is because you're still sort of challenged to let go of those 8 cups. Those 8 cups don't serve you anymore. They are from the past. They're not even relevant to who you are today. And the pathway you're on right now, my friends, is reflected in this card. So the pathway that you're on, my Pisces friends, is trying to understand yourself through the unfamiliar emotions and walking away from things. That can be a very powerful teacher to teach you about yourself. When you walk away from things that you were emotionally invested in. If you're emotionally invested, it's hard to walk away, is it not? And so that's the process you're on right now, to learn about yourself. And the truth about that process is that you have experienced an emotional loss. You have. And you're sad. You're sad about it, Pisces. You're sad that these cups spilled, and you're like, oh my God, all that time, all of that energy, all that emotion, and it's just gone. It's just over, and I'm supposed to just accept that? Yeah, because look, you still have 2 cups here. It's almost like you're not seeing that you can have everything you want. This wasn't what you were going to need anyway. This, like, whatever leaves, it's gone for a reason. Even if you were attached to it because you attached meaning to it, or you were attached to it because of emotions, it's like the action you're being guided that is tricky for you right now is you've got to walk away from those 3 cups that spilled and focus on what you're going to do with those 2 cups that are beautifully ready for you to access at any time. So the truth behind why, you know, this is a challenge, and why you're challenged to understand what your greatest outcome could be, is because there may be an Aries in your life, or this could be an aspect of you, Pisces, that is just too rigid about outcome. Whenever I see the Emperor, I think of father figure. I think of very strong masculine energy that provides structure and that creates identity and becomes an authority over themselves, right? Like it's like your leadership and who you are as an authority figure. So it's almost like there is a definition of yourself that you're hanging on to here that may need evaluation, so that you can understand, if I know who I am, then I will know what my ultimate wish would be. And that is what's challenging you right now. It's challenging you on an emotional level to understand yourself through this situation. It's like you can't reconcile, like even the way the cards land, with you've got the going into the unfamiliar and then accepting emotional loss, and the Emperor sandwiched in between. It's almost like you're asking yourself, well, then who am I in the context of these scenarios? Who am I? It's a great question. It's a very illuminating question to ask yourself. In the face of all of this emotion, who am I now? Who am I? You know, this has changed you, Pisces. This experience, whatever it is, has changed you so much so that the Wheel of Fortune is here. So you will be getting sort of a nice leg up from the universe, but Not until you know what you want. You know, it's almost going to go at like a snail's pace because the universe is waiting to hear you echo back with your correspondence, your I am statements. What are your I am statements right now, Pisces? When you're doing your, you know, your work on yourself, are you saying I am what? Is it a positive word or is it a negative word? Are you saying that you are a failure because you have to walk away from this commitment that you attached a lot of meaning to? Are you saying I am sad and I am lonely and I am depressed? Or are you saying I'm on the way to start something new? You know, this is a 5. The 5s are always about sort of understanding a truth. You have to face it honestly before you can move forward. And when I see this in reverse, it's almost like, what is the story you're telling yourself about this? Are you saying this represents when I was rejected because I'm not lovable and I wasn't enough? Yes. It's almost like you're telling yourself, I'm not enough. I don't deserve this 9 of Cups ending. You do. Of course you do. We all deserve the 9 of Cups ultimate ending, but sometimes to get here we have to face a truth that we don't want to. You don't want to. This card's in reverse, and as long as you don't want to face that truth, this Wheel of Fortune that wants to give you so much is going to move very slowly. I can almost hear it like creaking because it's almost like you're adding the resistance to it, my dear friends. The 9 of Cups is here for you, but you've got to face this loss first. And it's just a perceived loss. Rejection is redirection. If someone rejected you emotionally, right, that just frees you up. It frees you up. That's how you have to look at it, Pisces. You can't look at it like it reflects on you as an I am statement. You are who you are. You are you. And experiences don't define you. You define you, right? So you've got to face this truth in order to get this Wheel of Fortune moving faster and more efficiently, okay? Now, let's see, what is the major arcana influence for you, aside from the Emperor, who has shown up to say you need to examine how you see yourself as a leader in your life, or maybe you don't see yourself as a leader. Do you see yourself as a follower? The Chariot. Yeah, you've got to make a big choice here, my dear Pisces. You've got to make a choice. This is Cancer energy, so it's also a water sign. You could be dealing with a Cancer maybe, but you've got to make a choice here. Are you going to focus on the 3 cups that spilt or the 2 cups that are ready to be filled with some new path? It's time to make a choice, my dear Pisces. It looks like you could get closer to that choice this week, or that the choice will start to become a little less emotional for you this week. I sure hope, because there is some beautiful stuff at the ends of these readings. Like, you've got the 9 of Cups here and the Wheel of Fortune. And so I really think that things are going to start to shift for you, but you've got to let it shift. You've got to allow the shift. Don't resist the shift. You know, I feel like you could be resisting it a little bit because it's not the outcome you wanted. Maybe your idea of the 9 of Cups was one of these ones that spilled. But I promise you that anything that's meant for you cannot go. If it's meant for you, it will work. Maybe one of those cups is coming back later. You know, if it's something that you're just, but don't wait. Don't wait. Life's too short. You know, life is just too short. Make a choice and move forward. Feel it, heal it, and let it go, my friends. Soulmate. You could be coming into a soulmate. That is certainly worth saying bye-bye to these 3 cups that didn't work out. You guys, 2 cups, 2 penguins? Come on. Pisces, you could be on the cusp of everything you've ever wanted. Soulmate. And 9 of Cups and Wheel of Fortune. Yes, it's worth it. It's totally going to be worth it, Pisces. Just go for it. You got to heal from this. This wasn't what was meant for you. This is. Oh, that's so nice. And look, 4 plus 1, that's a 41. That reduces to 5, which is also here. 5 of Cups, 5, 5. You've got to go for it. Oh boy. There's something beautiful waiting for you, Pisces. Stop resisting it. Let the Wheel of Fortune spin. Lubricate it. Help it spin. Help it spin by starting to let go. You know, we don't manifest what we want by hanging on. You manifest by letting go. Oh my God, there's nothing more powerful than letting go of things that don't serve you. Even if it's emotional, so what? Have a good cry. You know, do whatever you have to do. Get past it. And realize for what it was. Face the truth honestly. That's what the 5s are all about. They're all about facing truth honestly. Understanding struggle and emotional pain honestly. You know, whatever 5 you want to look at. You want to look at the 5 of Swords, the 5 of Wands, the 5 of Cups, the 5 of Pentacles. They're all about understanding that this is just the part of the story. It's like the middle of the movie, right? Where the person is like walking down the street to sad music and, you know, all of the scenery and they're just sitting there. Maybe they're crying or maybe they've got their head in their hands. It's that part of the movie. But then what happens? By the time you get to the end of the movie, boom, 2 penguins, right? I'm very happy for you, Pisces. I want to give you a big hug and encourage you to see the truth behind those 3 cups that fell. Thank you. What is the truth here? Oh, the truth is, again, the 5 of Cups. You guys, you can't make this up. You know, I just shuffled and this fell out to clarify this 5 of Cups. And when I see 2 cards, those mirror each other. So it's like, yes, that is a confirmation of what I'm saying, that you've just got to let it go. You got to face the truth and let it go, Pisces. You've got to. What about this Wheel of Fortune and soulmate business? Yeah, there's something that you need to heal from. We see the 6 of Swords in reverse. And I was just talking about the 5 of Swords. So the 6 of Swords means that, like, you've accepted the truth behind the 5 of Swords. You've accepted it mentally. And then what? You've got to go in a boat, leave the shoreline, and get some distance from the situation. But this is in reverse. So that means that is what's bunging up this Wheel of Fortune, is that you're clinging to the shoreline. You're not getting in the canoe easily. People are dragging you into the canoe, kicking and screaming. That doesn't work. The universe doesn't respond to that kind of force. So you've got to get in willingly and say, I am ready to go on the journey of healing my heart and my emotions and my mind and my spirit, so that boom, soulmate. Now, I'm not saying this soulmate's coming this week. What I'm saying is that this should happen this week. Try to start this healing. Try to understand the truth behind this experience. Don't tell yourself this story as like, that broke my heart. No, tell it from the end of the movie. Say that was the story that taught me how to love myself. That's the story that taught me that I'm a phoenix from the ashes and I can overcome anything because I'm driving this chariot. I'm in control of this Wheel of Fortune. This needs to start, my dear, dear Pisces. You need to start the healing and facing the truth on this emotional situation. Wow, that was awesome. Really, really clear messages from Spirit. Thank you so much for that. Woo! Pisces, that was intense. Okay, we're going to move on to Aries. This is the speed round. Doing these live readings so fast is so much fun for me, but it seems like I want to keep talking about each sign more. But you know, it's good to just try to be brief. Give you your quick messages for the week every week. It'll be good. Okay, let's talk about Aries now. What's going on for Aries? Let's see. We saw the Emperor for Pisces. Let's see who we see for Aries. The Emperor is represented by Aries. So there is a spiritual side to you, Pisces, that you need to tap into. That wand energy is speaking to your soul. Okay, let's move on though. Let's move on to Aries. Sorry, I can't stop thinking about Pisces. Let's see what's going on for Aries for the week of June 28 to July the 4th. Thank you. Temperance, 6 of Wands, Ace of Swords, Five of Swords in reverse, and the Hanged Man in reverse. Okay, so Aries, you're starting off your week here with, you need to bring in your patience and your emotional flow into balance, okay? You cannot control the timing of how long it takes from water to go from one cup to another. You can't. You can certainly make it take forever, in the sense that you could hold both cups and not pour one into the other, for sure. However, if you start the pouring procedure, if you will, the action of pouring from one cup to another, you don't get to decide how fast the water goes from one cup to another. All you can do is keep one toe in the emotional pool, which keeps you present, and you stay mindful about what's going on around you and patient. So right now for this week, that is the thing that needs to be brought into balance. So if you catch yourself losing your temper or losing your patience, take a second and breathe. Reconnect with your emotions. Don't let them be in control. You can control your emotions. Now, I see that the truth behind the need to be temperate is that you're coming into an inner conflict. There is something in the external world that is trying to show you that you need to change your perspective. And I say the external world because I see that the Six of Wands here in reverse is in the position of what is the process you're on to learn about yourself right now. And right now you're learning about yourself through sort of understanding that there is a limit to how much you can learn about yourself by looking externally. The truth that you will understand the most about yourself is done when you look internally, not into the public, not in the external world. Just because people in the external world tell you, oh wow, you're awesome, I love what you're doing, oh I wish I could do that I want to promote this sounds really good, I'm gonna try and do that too, maybe someone's trying to compete with you. No, that energy will only tell you about your mask, right? When you look into the external world to try and figure out who you are, Aries, all you're gonna find out is that what the world thinks about you. That doesn't tell you who you are. That just says, what does everyone think about what you're up to? How do people respond and react to your mask that you walk around wearing in the external world? We all wear masks. No one is 100,000% authentic in the external world. Everyone wears a mask. We don't give away every piece of ourselves when we're interacting externally. However, for you right now, the challenge, Aries, is to understand yourself without this. To understand yourself by facing some difficult truths. There's the Five of Swords that we were just talking about with Pisces, you guys. So that really says, Aries, that you've got to face some difficult truths that you don't want to. This card's in reverse. So you're not really interested in this. You would much rather rely on the public, right? It's almost like the public view of you is the one that you want. But you know that's not the real story. You know that's not the real story. You know that there's an inner truth here, a mental truth, something that you need to face before you can move forward. You can pick up your swords and go home. But you're going to end up on this beach again real soon, my friends. You need to, this is some stuff you got to do between you and you, Aries. You know? And the final guidance card for you is one of my favorites. It's the Hanged Man, but in reverse, because he looks like he's standing. He's not. He has gone into this position willingly. Nobody strapped him into this. He sacrificed himself. And look how happy he is. He knows. When he is in the upright, the Hanged Man is like, yeah, I am willingly sacrificing something for a better outcome. And I understand that. He knows about facing truth. Okay? Now, my dear friends, you had this in the reverse, which says that you want to stand in the illusion. You want to stand without sacrifice. You don't care what the hidden truth is here behind your back. because it's challenging, not because you don't care, but because it's like, I don't want to face it. I don't want to face it. I don't want to face this. But you know what? It's the Ace of Swords. It's very auspicious, guys. Like, it is the time to face this inner truth. This isn't the time to run from it. Trust the process and feel fine letting things go. Some things have to be sacrificed. You have to make room for this new auspicious beginning. But this inner conflict, don't be fooled. This is an inner conflict. This has nothing to do with fighting anyone else. This is between you and you, Aries. And let's see what the predominant major arcana energy is here. That was sort of a weak shuffle. Let's see what the major arcana only have to say, aside from Temperance and the Hanged Man. Well, maybe you'll get one of those again. Let's see. The Magician. Yeah, I love this. You need to start thinking about what you want to bring in. What are your I am statements? I just said that for one of the other signs. What are you going to manifest once you face this truth? There is something here for you. The Ace of Swords, when I see the Ace of Swords and the Magician, what that says to me, my dear friends, is that I am no longer I can no longer tell myself the same story. I can't go forward telling myself that story anymore because I understand the truth now. Once you understand the truth, you start a whole new way of understanding and a whole new perspective of how to go forward. And that is going to make you a manifestation magician. You are going to become able to say, you know, as above, so below. And your I am statements are going to be in congruency with that. You're going to be congruent, and it's only going to come really about once you decide that it's time to face this truth, and that you're going to sort of do that inner work to face it and change it. Face it, change it. Everyone's getting the same sort of reading today. Feel it, heal it, let it go, and start something auspicious and new where you are the narrator, you are the writer of the story at this point, right? It's no longer going to be, just like I said, about the story that broke you. It's the story that woke you. It's not the story that broke you, right? And that matters, believe it or not. The way you tell yourself that story, it actually really matters quite a bit. Now, let's just clarify here. This Hanged Man in reverse. Oops. This Hanged Man in reverse. Is it the sacrifice or is it the patience? What is it? Why is he in reverse? Look at that. 6 of Wands. Again. You guys, the thing keeping this Hanged Man in reverse is you care too much about what people think. Why do you care so much what people think, Aries? You don't need to. You know what? People don't care what you think. Honestly, people are not walking around thinking about you. They're thinking about themselves. You know, people don't walk around obsessing about other people. People obsess about themselves. You know, the way the public receives you, my dear Aries, is not the be all and end all. See, again, 2 cards mirroring each other. You need to worry about what you think. It does not matter what other people think. If you're recognized or not, if you're acknowledged or not in the public world, that doesn't mean anything. It doesn't mean anything about who you are, who you truly are. What is this 5 of Swords truth? Is this the truth that they need to face? That the public perception isn't key? It's not everything? Sorry, the cards are all over the place. Let me just reshuffle this. So many cards want to come out. Let's just try and get one. One card to clarify. Oh boy, and it flew right out. Look what it is. It's another 5. It's emotional. It's the Cups. The thing holding you back is this loss. Okay, so something in the public realm is teaching you that, you know, whatever this was is insurmountable. It's not. Of course it's not insurmountable. You're just got your focus in the wrong spot. You need to direct your focus inward, not outward. Don't look for validation about whatever this was in the external world. It's almost like you're talking You're talking too much about this with people, and the way you're talking about it is not serving you. You got to stop talking about it. You got to do this work on an inner level, right? On an inner level. You need to do this and face the truth on an inner level without worrying too much about what the other people will think. Yeah? And to trust that process. Now, this Temperance card is asking them to be, what? Patient and mindful, but also to go for whatever your imagination is sort of signaling to you. 8 of Wands. 8 of Wands is really a time where it's a very different time than the 6 of Wands, because at the 6 we care what the external thinks, right? At the 8 we know the truth. 8 is all about understanding the truth behind something. And so when I see Temperance and clarifying it with the 8 of Wands, that really says to me that the truth behind what's going to bring all of this into balance is something internal. It's something that you already possess in your imagination, my dear friends. It's internal. If you look for it in the external world, you're not going to find it. You're not going to find it. What about the Magician? Why has he come here? The Magician, oh, we got 2 cards. The Magician has come to tell you, watch your I am statements. Are you saying I am not enough? Because if you are, that's not gonna alchemize well, okay? And then we see the 7 of Swords, which says be authentic and stand up for yourself. Battle the external world. Don't worry about what they think. Don't take their accolades too seriously, right? You be you and stand up for that, but make sure your I am statements are I am abundant, I am enough. Think about what you can do. Don't think about what you can't do. Remember I was saying earlier that we don't manifest by hanging on too tightly. We manifest when we let go. And he's not letting go. Look how closely he's holding that pentacle. He's terrified. He's got his feet on them. He's got one on his head and he's hugging the other one. He's terrified to let go because he's like, if I let these go, then I have nothing. Then I have nothing and I am nothing. I'm not enough and I don't have enough is the energy of this card. And these both came in to clarify the Magician. And this one is really about competing with the external world to not like the external world is almost competing with you. And you keep checking over your shoulder. And guess what, guys? That's exactly what happens when you rely on the external world to tell you who you are. You're going to constantly be looking over your shoulder and saying, am I good? Am I good enough? Am I good enough? You've got to decide that for yourself. You can't look in the external world to find out who you are. You're never going to find it there. The only place you're going to find out who you are is if you do an internal examination, right? Now, let's see what the guidance is here from the Oracle deck. What is the guidance here from the Oracle deck on this whole situation for Aries? Time to go. Yeah, it is time truly to get out of this headspace where you think about others. It's time to go into a new path where you trust your imagination. You understand that this is a new path. The aces are always a very auspicious beginning, okay? So when you see an Ace of Swords, it's a beginning of a new understanding of yourself on a mental level. It's like your ego and your true self are going to start over again and be in balance so that you don't let the ego drive. You know what I mean? Like it's a new beginning and it's time to go for it. It's really time. It's time to heal all of this stuff so that you can be the magician and bring in whatever it is you want. You know what I mean? It's interesting. And it's the card Time to Go is also really one that makes me think of sort of a path that you can see. Like if you look at that card carefully, there's a doorway there and the path kind of keeps going towards it, but it's hard to see. It almost looks foggy. And so you've got to use your internal guidance system to navigate this, not your external. Your external won't work. There's too much fog. Think of it that way. It's like the GPS is failing, okay? And so you've got to use your inner GPS to understand how to get to that door. And you're only going to do that by an inner exploration, not by worrying too much about what the outer world thinks. Okay, Aries? Wow. Very interesting messages for all of the signs so far. We've done one of each. We've done Capricorn, Aquarius, Pisces, and Aries. We're going to move on into Taurus now. And if you're just joining, welcome. I hope if you missed your sun sign, then you can look for your other placements, or you can enjoy the recording of this live. It will be here on Instagram as well as on YouTube. Okay, let's jump right into our second earth sign. We're going to start with Taurus now. Sun, moon, and rising for Taurus. Let's see what messages we have for our Taurus friends for June 28 to July the 4th. Okay, what's going on for Taurus? Okay, let's see. Oh boy. Tower in reverse. Two of Swords in reverse. Okay, oh boy. Okay. Okay. Taurus. Taurus. This is going to be a bit of a heavy week for you, but I think it's going to end with a nice inspiration here. Okay, so the current situation that you need to bring into balance, my dear friends, is accepting truth. Everyone is not having a good time accepting truth this week. It's challenging you. You need to bring this into balance. This is a time, my Taurus friends, where there is sort of a status quo falling into the ocean. The status quo is ending. Okay, the status quo is no longer relevant, and you're starting to understand that, but it's challenging you. And when you see the Tower in reverse, it's really a time to understand that with this level of change, doesn't have to be doom and gloom. This creates so much room for something positive. Okay? When stuff really falls apart. Oh, hi Sanka, how you doing? Haven't seen you forever, my dear friend. Hope you're well. You found me here, my new channel. This is a time where you really have to not resist the idea that, you know, things are changing. Things are changing. They sure are, Taurus. Things are definitely going to be changing for you. But look at this. It's going to lead to an inner celebration. You are going to feel so good once you finally accept all these changes. It's going to feel fantastic. You're going to be having a celebration, okay? Could be this card always makes me think of an inner celebration or a marriage, okay? You're going to be celebrating something big once you accept this change, okay? Now, the process that you're on that's making it difficult to understand why you have to accept this change is here. Two of Swords in reverse. You don't know which path to take. You don't know which path to take. This one or that one? This one or that one? And you're blind to which one is which one has the outcome that is most closely aligned to what you want. You're not sure. This is a dilemma that you don't want to think about. You may be procrastinating. This card always gives me the vibe of procrastination. Regardless, this is a time where you feel challenged to make a choice about something that feels important with respect to letting something go. There's a part of you that almost wants to hang on, but you can't. It's over. The tower is falling into the ocean. You can't hang on to the sword that represents the tower. The tower's gone. You're literally standing on the beach alone. Okay? The tower has been torched by lightning. The lightning represents truth. Everything, all the illusions are becoming clear to you. You're like, oh my God, I understand what all of this means, but I can't face it. I don't want things to change. That means I have to start over again. Yes, it does. But the good news is, like we said, we see this beautiful Four of Wands that suggests you're going to have an inner celebration. Now, the truth be told here, the truth behind why it's so hard for you to pick one of these swords is because on some level you feel that whatever this truth is that came in, Man, it hurt. It was painful. Doesn't it look painful? This card always makes me just like cringe a little bit. This is a painful time where you are having a hard time yet again understanding that conflict and separation are necessary for evolution. They just are. Not everything in our lives are meant to last. Some things are literally meant to come in, teach you a lesson, and then get out of there, right? And so it's almost like, Taurus, you've got to get on board with accepting that whatever left with this Tower, it left to make room so that you can have something new. Okay? Now, the news gets better as we keep going, because the final guidance card in your reading here is the Ace of Wands. There is no more spiritual and auspicious beginning that is connected to who you are on an inner level than the Ace of Wands. This is about you tapping into your sensuality, you tapping into self-enrichment, you tapping into self-nourishment, you tapping into a side of you that is for you. This path of the Wands is one that is very, very much guided spiritually. And it's guided also by your intuition. You are busting through mental and physical blocks to create a new path. And that path is going to form once you stop resisting, make a choice, accept that sometimes things don't last forever. You're going to start to feel an inner sense of happiness, an inner sense of reward once you accept all of that. And that's going to push you down a whole new pathway of inspiration here with this Ace of Wands. That is just beautiful. Now, the Tower is the only card here that is major arcana. So let's see, what is the other influencing major arcana energy here for Taurus, Sun, Moon, and Rising? The Hierophant. More truth. A lot of people have been getting the Hierophant today. The Hierophant really represents understanding spiritual truth and universal truth, and understanding things from a different perspective, one that is based in like fact. This is like sort of like the masculine energy that comes in to dot the I's and cross the T's. Sometimes people associate this card with marriage, which this card is also associated with marriage. I have a feeling there could be a marriage on the table here. We're going to clarify, but still, the Hierophant is also a time when, oh sorry, I'm not in the camera, when you must sort of seek some sort of guidance that comes from a more soulful place. Something that makes you stop and sort of almost like look up at the sky and wonder things about the truth about life. Excuse me, you might need to communicate a truth about something, because my throat keeps clogging up. So there is an aspect of you here that is seeking. This is the other energy of this card that I get, is that it's the seeker. It's very Taurus energy. This card is you, Taurus. The Hierophant is represented by Taurus in tarot. So it's like you need to be authentic, you need to speak your truth, and then you're really going to feel that inner celebration. But there's so many cards here that suggest that once you accept this, that the Tower has fallen, and you make a choice to go forward in a new direction where you understand that conflict and separation are necessary for evolution, then it's almost like you're going to step into this whole new path dedicated to serving yourself in the highest way. And that's going to make you feel so much inner satisfaction. It's going to make you feel so much inner satisfaction to do that. That is just great. Now let's put these back in order. Yeah, they were like this. There we go. Okay, now let's see what the, actually before we do the oracle cards, let's clarify some of this. What is this Tower here? What is the truth that's being unveiled to my Taurus? Oh, we got two cards. Okay, So it looks like it has to do with some friendships, maybe some relationships, not sexual or physical relationships. This is more about like the people you hang out with, your friends, who's your soul tribe. So you could be starting to understand some truth about some of the people in your life, and it's making you feel like not super happy. The sun in reverse is not that much less impactful than when the sun is upright, but when it's in reverse, that tells me that you're waiting for something. It's almost like you're waiting for something from these people and you're not getting it. You might be feeling dissatisfied, like the sun is setting on some of these friendships. Yes, the sun is setting. See, the sun is not rising, it's setting on some of the relationships in your life, and you need to accept that. You need to accept that, Taurus, that not everyone comes to stay forever. It's true. And then once you sort of get your handle on that, I think that you're going to start to feel a little better about the situation. Now, what about this Ace of Rods? What is Taurus going to get up to once they face this truth? Nine of Pentacles. The Nine of Pentacles talks of a time where you start to really feel a solid sense of identity. So talk about going from, a lot of pain from separation and sort of mental anguish about having to make a decision about something, and all of this truth about the relationships in your life that may be ending, and you're like, I don't want them to end, I don't want to be separated from these people. Once you get through this, it's almost like you're going to see how it has taught you so much about yourself and who you are, and how you stand independent of any of these people in your life. You are who you are because you are who you are. And it's like you're going to start to feel very secure about that. That card was brought in to clarify this Ace of Wands. So it's like you're really going to start to feel that. You're going to start to feel it on a real level. What about this, the Four of Wands upright? Wow, look at this. So we get the Two of Swords in reverse again, another double confirmation saying first you have to make a choice, and then you're going to have to understand that choice. Four of Swords, we haven't seen that today yet. Four of Swords is a time where you go into like a withdrawn state where you're not involved with the external people in your life, and you process. You process, you process, you process until what? Until you understand the truth. Remember, this is represented Taurus here. Once you understand the truth, then you have to be very temperate with yourself as you separate. As you experience that separation, you must be temperate and allow the emotions to flow so that you can better understand yourself in a more temperate light. Okay, my friends? And that should ease that feeling of suffering. I feel like you're suffering right now, Taurus. I feel like you're going through it. But the suffering, trust me, the suffering is coming from the resistance. The suffering is coming from this resistance to accept a truth that sometimes relationships are not meant to stick around forever. Blessed. I love that. So your final guidance here for this reading is that you are blessed no matter what. No matter what. No matter what tower falls. No matter what decision, no matter what friends the sun is setting on, you are blessed, Taurus, and you shall remain so. Nothing physical or mental or spiritual can touch you when you're blessed. And we are all blessed. That the things that come across our path that feel unpleasant, I know they can be difficult to process, but they come to teach us things about ourselves. And that blessed card always makes me remember that, even if things are hard to understand, one day you will understand it. Even if this is painful to separate from some of these friends, you will understand the truth behind why it was necessary. My dear Taurus, you just have to be patient. You have to be temperate. You have to be patient to understand it. And you will. Sending you a big hug, Taurus. Okay, thank you so much for that reading. Let's move on to Gemini, our second air sign of the day. Let's see what's going on for Gemini, Sun, Moon, and Rising. What is going on, Gemini? Gemini is represented by the Lovers card. So if we see the Lovers card, then that should be interesting. We've been seeing people's cards. We saw the King of Swords for Aquarius, I believe. We saw the Hierophant for Taurus. Let's see what's going on for Gemini. Sun, Moon, and Rising for June 28th to July 4th. Okay, Gemini. Gemini. Okay, Gemini. I've got one word for you. Perception. Your perception of this situation is what is in the forefront. What is your perception about loss? What is your perception about changing your perspective? What is your perception on your intuition? And what is your perception about yourself? These 4 cards are all in reverse right now, okay? So, oh sorry, there we go. So right now, right away, that tells me that the process you're on right now that needs alignment is your understanding of what loss is. Is it loss, or is it just a readjustment? Are things getting sacrificed here so to make room for new things, or are you just focusing on the loss? You're like, well, I lost this, and this. Instead of saying, I made room for this, and this. Excuse me again, that I don't have, nothing's wrong with my throat. So that makes me think you're not speaking up about something. Yeah, this has only been happening during certain readings today. There's something you need to change how you're talking about it. You can't keep talking about it as a loss. It was just a part of your life, and now that part of your life is over, and things are going to start to look up. The 5 of Pentacles in reverse is actually a time where things are going to start to turn in your favor. Okay, because when it's upright, it talks about feeling like a victim of circumstance and feeling very vulnerable. But when you see it in reverse, it's really about a time where things are going to start to turn in your favor. So we've got to really be careful about these I am statements that you're holding right now, because they're going to have an impact. Now, I see that the truth behind things turning around for you are very highly motivated by your intuition. You are trying so hard to understand what your intuition is guiding you towards, but it is challenging you a little bit. So it's almost like if you want to have a sneak peek about the path coming up, tap into your intuition to get that sneak peek, even though that is challenging you a little bit right now. Now, the process that you're on to understand yourself has to do with the way you think. Now, Gemini, I was saying earlier, you're represented by the Lovers, but guess what? This is also your card too. The 9 of Swords is representative of Gemini. So that says, this card is saying to me that the truth behind the reason why you're sort of feeling like this is a loss, and I don't know how to tap into my intuition, and I don't even know who I am anymore. The reason you're sort of feeling like that is because you keep telling yourself that, and I know that's not what you want to hear, but it's the inner dialogue. This card is very much representative of you staying up all night worrying. Now, it's in reverse, so that says to me that you're not getting any further ahead doing this. You know, sometimes when we stay up all night and we think about stuff, we make headway. You know, we make headway. We start to understand how to untie this rope. But right now, it's almost like you're tightening the rope. And you don't even know that you're doing it. You think maybe that you're helping yourself, but you're not. You're spinning around in circles with a very negative story. And it's gonna impact things. The way we speak to ourselves, it's far more relevant than I think people give that credit. You know, like self-talk, you guys. What are you doing up all night saying to yourself, Gemini? It's really going to have an impact. And where is it going to have an impact? It's going to have an impact on how you feel about yourself. And the action you're being directed to take here is to really study your identity. You're really being directed to study your identity in a way that illuminates to you who you are, because you don't know who you are right now. I really feel like my Geminis, every Gemini that I have been doing readings for, they're going through a shift. Geminis are transitioning right now really quickly, and they're starting to shift in ways that are impacting things that you can see, taste, touch, and smell, things in the physical world. That's why it's all pentacles here. Okay, it's mental into physical, and add some intuition, please. So what's happening right now for Geminis is there is something, okay, that Geminis want to do, but they're freaked out about making the switch. And there is a part of the Gemini grouping that doesn't even think they're worth it. Okay, so that's even more troubling, because they're up all night saying, I'm not enough. I won't get it. I don't deserve it. I'm not worthy of it. You are. You're so worthy of it. And you're going to see the truth in that. When you see the judgment, that is good news is coming, okay? Good news is coming for you, Gemini. You just have to change the story you keep telling yourself. I swear, all the Geminis they could be, the ones I've been reading for anyway, it's like they just have lost faith in themselves. They've lost faith in themselves, and it's like there's so much ability and knowledge and experience and good left. They don't think so. It's almost like they feel like they've reached the culmination. Well, maybe you have reached a culmination, because this is a 9. But what's to say that you're not going to start something brand new? I mean, that's very exciting. You've got 2 9s here. It is time to end a cycle and start a new one. Now, what is the major arcana for the energy here? The Lovers. The Lovers is about a choice. The Lovers is about a very big choice. And what did I say? The Lovers is Gemini. Didn't I say that at the beginning? I think I did. These 2 cards are you, my friend. My Gemini friend, these 2 cards represent you. So that is like, I don't know how much confirmation that you need to be authentically you. And know that you're enough. Believe it. You're enough, and you're worthy, and you're deserving. And you can start a new cycle at any time, and you will be getting some good news soon. Okay? This is very good, very encouraging here. Now, let's just clarify quickly here. What is this 9 of Swords? I know it's Gemini's energy, but why are they up all night? Oh my God, look. We got the Lovers again, which is you, as we know. It's so funny. I love when that happens. And the Queen of Cups in reverse, which is basically very similar to the High Priestess in reverse, where you're just not tapping into your intuition as much as you need to be. You could fix this, Gemini. Look, so you got your 2 cards that represent you again, this one from a different deck. I love when that happens. And then another card to say, use your intuition, use me. You're not using me as much as you could. You're in your head too much. You're overthinking this, Gemini. Use me. Use me. Use the intuition and make a choice. I love it. Oh, I love when we see that kind of confirmation. Really just solidifies the message, you know. And again, you've got 2 9s on the table. 9 of Pentacles and your 9 of Swords, which says it is time for a new cycle. So if your intuition is telling you it's time to go, it is time to go. Let's see what the Oracle card says. Soulmate. Soulmate. I really see that the Geminis are stepping into something that is destined. Now, if you already feel like you're with your soulmate, or if you're single, or if you're in a relationship that you're like, that's not my soulmate for sure, this card has a lot of meaning to it on top of the traditional meaning of soulmate. It also just can mean a coming together, a unification of energies. And I really see that in you. Like, look at both of these Lovers cards and the Judgment card. To me, that says something is going to be blessed. Something is going to come into union for Geminis. And could it be a soulmate, like another person that you bond with and become in a relationship? Of course, why not? Why not? It's never too late for that action. There could be some Geminis listening going, It's too late for that. What is she talking about? I'm not going to meet anyone now. Why not? You could meet someone right now. You could step outside of your apartment and bump into your soulmate who's carrying their groceries, and you knock into each other or something. I just saw that in my head and it was really cute. So, you know, it's never too late for whatever it is that your heart desires. You can make a choice at any time. Tap into that intuition. It will never let you down. It is your internal guidance, my dear, dear Gemini. Okay, let's keep moving along here, guys. That was a nice reading for Gemini. Hang in there, Gemini. Hang in there. You're blessed. You're loved. You're going to get some good news once you stop sort of feeling like you're not enough. Things are going to turn around for you, Gemini. That's awesome. Okay, let's move on. Cancer. Okay, my Cancerian friends. What is up for Cancer? My second water sign reading today. What is the predominant energy for Cancer, Sun, Moon, and Rising for the June 28th to July 4th this week? Messages for the week for Cancer. Okay, let's see. Okay, Cancer, let's get started for you. Now, my Cancer friends, it looks like you are embarking on a situation where you are going to have to bring into balance your emotions with your inspiration and your spirit. So there's something emotional and spiritual. You've got two aces here, an ace of cups upright and an ace of wands in reverse. It's going to involve a choice. You've got the two of swords and the two of wands. Wow. And then you've got strength in reverse. This is interesting. This is really interesting. So it looks like right now you need to bring into balance your emotions, because something really, really exciting on an like a sensual, dare I say, or passionate level is going to come in. You are going to start to feel very driven. Yeah, it's almost a phallic card when you look at it in the reverse, because it's like you're pointing that wand back at yourself right now because it's in reverse. It's not pointing outwardly at the universe right now. It's pointing it straight at you. So there is something on an emotional level that needs to be brought into balance with spirit. Look at how they mirror each other, these two cards. Bring your emotions in balance with your intuition. And then it's almost like you are on the process of making a decision, and you need to bring spirit in to make that decision. You're not going to be able to make this decision logically alone. You're going to need to add a wand here. This is very interesting. The truth behind this, the action you're being directed to take in order to make this choice, the action is to initiate your connection with wands. Ace and then two, right? You've got both of them. One's in reverse, the other one's not. So that says to me that by the time you get to the place where you're ready to make this decision, you're going to have tapped into your intuition. It will no longer be so difficult for you to tap in to this soulful side of yourself. You're going to know how to do it by the time you get to the place where you have to make this decision. Okay. Now, the interesting thing is right now, the guidance, the final guidance card for you is to make sure that you watch yourself here. Watch your strength. When you see the strength card in reverse, first of all, this is Leo energy. So you could be dealing with a Leo. And the two of wands is also, that's Aries. Sorry, not Leo. This is Leo. Two of wands is Aries. So my Cancer friends, it looks like you've got to build up your confidence. Right now, the confidence is a bit low. So the guidance here for you, the final guidance is get your confidence ready, because these two initiations, these two of swords and two of wands, are going to require confidence and physical energy. So you're starting a new path. You've got two aces and two twos. One, two. So you are starting a new path And you need to do so in a way that is a little unfamiliar, because it looks like you're starting something from the beginning here, and it's going to sort of have an inner conflict that will get resolved once you invoke your spirituality, your intuition, you will be able to sort of remove the mental blocks that are presenting themselves here once you tap into your soul fire. Okay? Once you tap into that soul fire, you're going to be able to break through all those mental blocks. But the guidance here is warning you to sort of make sure you're confident in yourself. Make sure you have physical strength. Make sure the light inside you is bright, because you're going to need it, because you're just starting. This is just the beginning. This is just the beginning of something really, really, really profound, because it's blessed with 2 aces and 2 twos. I mean, you're really going to need to have your confidence. You're going to need to be so sure of yourself. And the guidance here for you is to really include emotion, logic, and spirit. To not rely on just logic and not just rely on emotion. No, you need to sort of encapsulate all of the energies here so that you can build up this confidence. Your confidence took a rockin'. What happened? Something knocked you down. Maybe it was the end of the last cycle, because you're certainly beginning a new cycle here, Cancer. So maybe the end of the last cycle took your confidence down a little bit for some reason, or it tapped you out strength-wise. So you're not feeling particularly ready to go yet, but it's almost like the universe has something in store for you, and you're being ushered into that pathway maybe this week. This reading is for the energy coming up on Monday. So let's see, what is the major arcana influence here aside from the strength card? Maybe we'll get double confirmation again. The moon. Oh, uncertainty at its best. Some people really don't like pulling this card. I don't mind the moon energy. I actually stay up all night waiting for the moon to appear at my window, because I love that sense of unfamiliarity and uncertainty that the moon energy brings in. It's a very feminine energy that is like throwing, I always imagine it as throwing seeds all over the place. Like, imagine this figure. It's always female in my mind. I always imagine this figure wearing like a white robe, sort of like she is, and running through a field with handfuls of seeds for different things, and just like flinging them around, and like being like a flower girl and just like flinging these seeds around. And it's like a very creative time where you're expressing yourself. Right? You're being very expressive, but you don't have a hot clue where this is going to lead to yet, because the feminine energy doesn't care about where it's going to lead to. It just cares about expression, right? The masculine energy cares where it's going to go. Masculine energy, like reflected here in this strength card with Aries, that is the energy that comes in to say, okay, feminine energy, let's start to make some rows for all these seeds so that you have a garden and not a big mess in the backyard. And let's start to direct the flow of that water so that you're not gonna, go in a million directions. Let's try and direct things so that you're moving on a pathway forward. That's why we need the masculine and the feminine. We can't just have one or the other. But most of us tend to be dominant in one or the other so that the other one can develop. So when I see the moon card here for you, that really tells me, first of all, this is Pisces energy, you're Cancer, but it's a water sign still. And you need to tap into and be comfortable with unfamiliar and unknowns. You need to almost take a leap of faith here, Cancer. You need to take a leap of faith and believe that when you're ready to take the next step, it's going to materialize as you put your foot out. Okay, you're gonna, like, imagine if we're both standing at the edge of a cliff and I'm like, hey, Cancer, you go first. And you look over the cliff and you're like, there's nothing there, dude. And I'm like, oh yeah, no, that's how this works. Once you put your foot out, the step appears. And you're like, I don't think so. I'm going back to the hotel. And it's almost like, no, don't go back to the hotel. Take the step. Trust. Go into the unknown, go into the unfamiliar, trusting that some energy is there waiting for you, right? Like, you're not going to be invited to go to the edge of that cliff if there's nothing there for you, right? It's not a cruel joke. It's a real thing. You have to take the step off the cliff to see the step materialize. Does that make sense? And so it's funny. I mean, I like I follow a lot of tarot readers, obviously, because I'm interested in seeing other people's perspectives. And I have never met a tarot reader that likes the moon card. Everybody hates this card. Hate's probably too strong of a word. But when they see this card, they're like, oh God, no, please no, I don't need any more uncertainty in my life. But you know what uncertainty brings? It brings something new. It brings in something new. And the beautiful thing about the moon card is that it may seem uncertain, but it's not. It's not. It's something that you know intuitively already. Isn't it? Isn't it, Cancer? If this is resonating for anybody listening who's a Cancer, then you know what I'm talking about. You already know that the push you're being pushed into. You're being pushed into some new beginning that you have no idea how to navigate. You don't even know what the heck you're driving into here. And yet, the push remains. But your confidence needs a boost. Your confidence needs a big boost, my friend. Now, let's just clarify here that strength card in reverse. The Tower in reverse. Okay, so your confidence is low because you have not accepted some truths about the last phase that just ended. Remember I said that. I said maybe that's why your confidence is low, because you haven't fully healed from whatever phase just left. And I know a phase has ended for you, Cancer, because you've got so many aces here and twos and the moon. Something new is on the doorstep, but we've got to understand the lightning bolt truth here that took out the status quo in the first place. Once you honestly face the truth of the status quo and why it's in the ocean and why you're standing on that cliffside next to me going, I'm not taking a step. I'm going back to the hotel. I'm out of here. My tower just fell. No, let's hang out on the beach side on that cliff together, looking at your tower floating away in the ocean and understanding how that happened. You know, there's going to be a new start. And it's all over the place here with these aces and the twos and the moon. And you just need some courage and strength from enduring this. And you're going to get that courage and strength by facing these truths. Okay? Oh, Cancer, I'm sending you a big hug. And I'm imagining us both standing on that cliffside and me telling you, come on, go on, take a step. And you saying you want to go to the hotel. It's okay. We can go back to the hotel for a little bit, but then we're going to go back. I'm going to take you back to the cliffside anyway, because we've got to face these truths so that these aces, these beautiful, auspicious aces, can start to materialize once you pull a cord, make a decision, and communicate your truth on this. You've got to make a call here. You've got to face it. Take that blindfold off. Let's go. This is exciting times for you, Cancer. It's going to be good. Okay, let's keep going. We are at Leo. Leo. I love Leo. How's Leo doing? You know, my mom's a Leo. She's the only actual Leo that I know in the real world, which is kind of funny. Okay, let's shuffle. Why am I shuffling those first? We're doing these. Okay, Leo. Sun, moon, and rising for Leo. What's going on for Leos coming up on Monday, on June 28th to July the 4th? Let's see. Thank you. Okay, Leo. Okay, Leos. Well, my Leo friends, you're starting to bring into alignment the idea of who you are as a leader. Okay, so you're starting to ask yourself, who am I as an authority figure? Who am I as a leader? Like, do I have any authority? Do I have any leadership skills? Am I just a follower? What am I doing? What's happening here? How do I define myself as this sort of structure? What structure do I, this is masculine energy, okay? So it's the, like, sort of the emperor and the empress, right? So the empress is all about, like, flinging those seeds in the air, and then the emperor comes in and looks at her and says, okay, that's enough seed flinging. Let's make some rows and put some signs down so that we can understand what's going on here. And that's the part of you right now that needs to be brought into balance. So you could be overly masculine, Leo. Ooh, you could be under feminine, overly masculine. You could be trying to control outcomes more than just accepting outcomes and moving on. And the reason I say that is because sort of the thing promoting or bringing truth into that alignment is the sun, which is more masculine energy to say structure, structure, structure. You're all about providing structure for yourself right now. You want to have a solid ground where you feel independent and you feel like a leader, not a follower, and that you want to have a sustainable vision of the future instead of perhaps the vision that you've had for the future up until now, which maybe wasn't so sustainable. Maybe you felt vulnerable. Maybe you felt insecure. And now you're sort of starting to understand yourself in a new way. Now, the reason I say maybe you were feeling vulnerable or insecure is also echoed by seeing the Three of Cups in reverse here. The Three of Cups in reverse says that you're starting to question the motives of the people closest to you. You are starting to go, what's going on with the relationships with these people around the table? Are these relationships, do I understand them in a truth, or am I understanding them in a sense of illusion? Do I really understand the motives of my friends or the people closest to me? Or have I selected a group of people that I'm not even in alignment with? Or that maybe have motives that aren't actually in my highest good? You're starting to wonder about these relationships, and you want to feel secure going forward. And it looks to me like the action Spirit is guiding you towards is to take a brand new start with your identity. Start building from the bottom up, Leo. You need to tear down and rebuild based on what? Whatever you want. Whatever you want. Whatever you have faith in. This is Phoenix from the ashes, baby. This is a time of your life where you are going to redefine yourself and stop these limiting and potentially negative relationships, right? You are going to rise from the ashes of this. Like, if this is tearing you down right now because you're really attached to some of these relationships, my goodness, in the future, once you take this bold new beginning, look at star. This is beautiful. Leo, you are going to start a brand new path for yourself in terms of how you see yourself with the statement, I belong, I am. You're changing that I am statement. You're actively working on it now, I think, and it's causing you to question who you are as a leader, how you deal as an authority with people that you think aren't necessarily treating you with honest intentions or highest motivations, like that maybe their motivations need to be questioned a little bit. There could be some sketchy behavior around you with some of your friends or some of the people closest to you. You're maybe starting to second guess some things about them or the way they treat you in specific. And that you're looking towards a sustainable, beautiful future where you are creating that structure for yourself, creating the lines for yourself. And you truly will. You will put all of that into place for yourself with this star card energy. The star is really a time, I really think it's it's Phoenix from the ashes. It's really believing in yourself, and it's you formulating things based on how you want things to go. You're the one pouring from two jugs, and you're deciding how much of everything is going to go. You're creating this situation, and it's beautiful. It's based on your faith. It's based on what you believe. Whatever you truly believe here, and it looks like you're trying to start something new, which I really like seeing, because the last Leo reading I did for YouTube, I actually had to stop the camera and have a little weep, because it was like, my God, the Leos just want to be happy, and they feel so disappointed, and they feel so saddened by some relationships in their life, Empress. Yeah, you are trying to create... Didn't I say Emperor and Empress? Yeah, this is a divine counterpart card situation here, where it's like you're going to marry these two elements. Didn't I just say that you can't just have masculine energy or feminine? You need both. And it's almost like that's what Leo is doing right now. They're bringing into balance the masculine and feminine energies within them so that they can sort of begin a new path forward that's in balance. That's not just flinging seeds and not just obsessing about rows. It's both. It's let's fling, let's create structure. More flinging, more structure. You know what I mean? Let's add a sprinkler that goes in all bunch of directions. Okay, no, let's turn the hose down so we don't like destroy our seedlings, right? Like it's a very balanced situation that you're heading into. You're going to balance the structure with that creative energy. It's very nice to see for Leos because, man, that reading last week brought me to tears. They just want to be happy, but they're really starting to understand the truth behind some of the motives of the people in their lives. And they're not motivations that are like leaving them feeling good. They're feeling kind of like, almost like they've been taken advantage of maybe, or that, I don't know, people aren't being genuine with you. Go the distance with this. Yeah, you got to go the distance with this, Leo. This is real. Whatever it is that you're working on, Leo, you are really carving out a new path for yourself. It's an auspicious ace. Aces are such a blessed beginning of a new path. And an ace of pentacles is a new path in the sense of I belong. You know, what's your identity? Who are you? This is beautiful. This is such a nice reading for the Leos, considering that last one was so intense. Now, I just want to clarify, that star card, just to see what's going on here. What is it that the Leos want to create? Oh, look, we see the Emperor in reverse now. So that says you're going to flip everything upside down. You're going to change who you are as a leader. I think right now you're evaluating it and you're finding out that maybe people sometimes aren't treating you very good. So you're like, no, I'm going to change that. I'm going to flip this Emperor on his head and I'm going to start standing up for myself and I'm going to go the distance with what I want. And if I lose some relationships, so be it. Yeah, you're changing, Leo. You are really going through a new life process and it seems to be for the better. It seems like it's blessed with a higher level of awareness and also this idea that you can write your own story. You don't need to rely on the people in your life to tell you who you are. You can tell yourself who you are, Leo. Absolutely. Wow. Okay. Thank you for that. Now, let us head into Virgo. We're down to the last 4 signs. We're going to start with Virgo here. It's our last Earth sign. Oops. There we go. Okay, what's going on for Virgo? Sun, Moon, Rising, Virgo. What's going on for my Virgos for June 28 to July the 4th? Okay. Sorry, what am I doing? There we go. Okay, Virgo. What's going on for Virgo? Let's see here. Okay, Virgos. Sun, Moon, and Rising for this coming up week. It looks like you feel vulnerable because when you look at the future, you're terrified. There is a choice you have to make, a big one, big choice, but you're not sure how to make it based on your efforts and talents and skills. It's almost like you're doubting yourself a little bit. You don't feel like you're enough for some reason, Virgo. It's like you don't think that you're up for this. You don't feel up for this. You don't feel up for this challenge. Either you don't feel like you have the financial resources, the mental resources, the effort, the talent, the skill. You're really starting to doubt yourself in a lot of ways, Virgo. Very unlike you. What's going on here for Virgo? We see the Star card come up as the major arcana influence in this reading, which says that you can actually have whatever you want and that you may rise ahead of this. But first things first, what are the I am statements in your mind right now? You're saying I'm not enough and you're saying I'm not worthy based on some perceived losses in the physical world. Okay, some stuff has left your life. Your life has changed in an observable way, okay? Something has shifted for Virgo in an observable way that has left Virgo going, I don't think my future looks so bright anymore. Okay, and that needs to be brought into balance, because this is the pathway you're on. You're on the pathway of understanding the future and the future of your inspiration and how it will be expressed, but understanding that in a new way. It's going to involve you having to make a significant choice about the direction. You might actually physically move, or you might move into a whole new way of thinking. It might just be a metaphorical move, doesn't necessarily have to be a physical move. But there is movement. There is movement in your life. Something in your life is definitely shifting, and you need to make a choice about it based on your true understanding of your efforts, skills, and talents. That is the action you're being encouraged towards. You're being encouraged to examine yourself fairly with the lens of, what do I do that no one else does quite as well as I do? What is my special thing? And right now you're starting to doubt that, because I think things have shifted so much so for you that you're wondering if that thing that you do so well is still relevant in today's world. Well, you know, and that's leaving you feeling like, maybe I'm not competitive. Maybe I'm not enough. Maybe there's nothing I can contribute anymore because of the way things have shifted. My future looks a little bit bleak in my mind. Well, as long as you keep telling yourself that, Virgo, things aren't going to start feeling better anytime soon. But, you know, when I see the Star card here for you, I feel like you can have anything you want. I feel like whatever you believe will be. So you need to sort of almost be careful what it is that you believe about this future. I want to clarify right away this Three of Wands in reverse. Why does Virgo think that their future is not going to be bright? Why are they thinking that the future is going to somehow be challenging for them? Okay, Two of Swords in reverse. So it's challenging because there's an inner conflict that needs to be addressed. What about the Eight of Pentacles here? Why is Virgo doubting their efforts, talents, and skills? Whoa, so many cards falling all over the place. Hang on. Okay, we see the Six of Pentacles. The Six of Pentacles, and we see the Four of Cups, the Ten of Wands, and the Tower. Okay, so that actually tells a story here. So that the reason that Virgo is feeling like their talents, efforts, and skills may not be enough going forward is because they were very much in balance in the past, and then something came along to make them feel incredibly emotionally dissatisfied and overburdened and overwhelmed and maybe underappreciated, and then boom, Tower. So then a huge truth was revealed to them that they have not been able to accept yet. Okay, so if there's a Virgo listening and this resonates for you, Virgo, you've got to get on board with whatever this Tower situation was. And it's like you still haven't made a decision based on the new world. Like you're clinging to the old world still that doesn't exist anymore. You're clinging to that tower that's already fallen into the ocean. It's gone. You have to start over again, and you're ready to start over again because you're tired. That last cycle exhausted you, so you don't want to get up and keep going almost. It's like, oh, Virgo, I almost feel like you've given up. What about this Four of Pentacles here as the final guidance? So Virgo needs to remember that they're enough. Yeah. So we see the Wheel of Fortune and the Five of Cups in reverse. So that says that this negative self-talk, that I'm not enough, I don't have enough, and I'm not worthy, and my efforts, skills, and talents won't help me in the future. That's putting a damper on this Wheel of Fortune that wants to come in and change your life. And it's all because you just can't accept change. You can't accept what left. You've got to, though. You've got to. There's no way around it. It's literally floating away in the ocean. Like it's gone. See, it's spilled all over the ground. It's over. You can't just stand there and look at that and be sad for forever. There's still 2 cups here behind you for you to use and feel emotionally fulfilled with. It's just starting from a new level, right? You were used to functioning at a very high level. Something came and took that. Maybe it was the coronavirus. Maybe you were traveling a lot. Maybe whatever you were doing that was so fulfilling had to do with travel. Because that was the thing that left for everyone right away, was travel. And so maybe because you couldn't travel anymore, things really changed for you. Or maybe you were some kind of a teacher and everything went online, right? That was the other big change, is that everything went online, and some people don't do well online. I myself used to teach dance, and when all the dance studios closed, my only option to keep teaching dance was teaching it online, and I didn't like it. I tried it for one term and I didn't like it at all, so I stopped. But I accepted it. It was a loss and I had to accept it, right? But now I feel okay about the fact that I don't teach dance anymore, unless someone wants to come over for a private. But the days of having a full studio and having 20 women behind me following me, that's over. And I had to accept that. And I feel like that might be relevant for some other Virgos listening, because it's coming to me as an example. Travel and teaching. So Virgo, if you have lost the ability to teach and travel, you must get on board with that, accept it. Stop thinking that it's because you're somehow not enough. It's because the world changed, not because you changed. But now you do need to change. You need to become more adaptable and see that there are still 2 cups there for you to fill. Just because this tower is in the ocean floating away because of some significant truth that you received, all of these illusions have fallen away. It's okay. You can recover from this, but you've got to watch how you talk to yourself. But the Wheel of Fortune is here wanting to change the dynamic for you, Virgo. You've almost just got to get out of your own way. You're getting in your own way, and I can see that you feel very dissatisfied. A leg up. Yeah, see, like the second you stop sort of telling yourself that you're not enough and that you're not worthy and you don't deserve because you don't have the efforts, talents, or skills to be in this new world doing what you love. It's like when you stop that and when you start to say, I am enough and I can contribute and I can make a choice that will be in balance again. It's like the universe is going to give you a leg up. You're going to get some support. You're going to get some assistance. When I see the Wheel of Fortune with this card, I really feel like it's solidified. You will get a leg up. And you might not see that right now. I would say that you for sure don't see that right now. But you will. You will if you allow yourself to sort of tap into that, Virgo. You know? And FYI, this 8 of Pentacles, that's you. That represents Virgo in tarot. So you've really just got to see yourself authentically and let the universe support you in this new dynamic, and let go. Don't be so attached to the way things used to be. You know, it's almost like that's the choice you have to make. Are you going to stay attached to these cups that are spilled on the ground and are no longer usable? You gotta sort of let go. Let go of what was and welcome what is. Yeah? Okay, Virgos, hang in there, my Virgo. You will get a leg up. I do see that Wheel of Fortune. Try to focus on some positive self-talk this week to get yourself in a place where you're not saying, I'm not worthy and I can't make this choice. This is impossible. Everything's over. Nothing will ever be the same. Well, so what if nothing's ever going to be the same? Do you want things to be the same forever? Nobody wants things to be the same forever. We always want to grow and evolve and change, and it's just during the moments of growth, evolution, and change, if it's challenging, we resist it. Okay, let's move on to Libra, our last air sign for the day. Let's see what messages we have for Libra for June 28 to July 4th. What's going on, Libras? Let's see. Okay, Libra. Let's see here. What's going on? Oh boy. Okay, Libra. Libra, Libra, Libra. You are being challenged right now to bring into balance something that you feel is a truth. Everyone is battling truth this week. So we see the Hierophant in reverse, which says to me that you must take care signing contracts, making agreements. You must take care with paperwork. You must take care with making commitments. Take care with the commitments. Take care. Why? Because the truth behind some of these commitments that you may be agreeing to is autopilot. You may be agreeing to some of these things because they've always been there, right? There are things that are from the past that are in your present right now, and it's sort of like you're just accepting them along for the ride because, well, they've always been there. You know, they've always been there, and it's like, well, is it still relevant? Are you looking at this with rose-colored glasses on? Is it really still there, or is it just still there in your mind? So, wow, Libra, it's like you've got to face the truth without the rose-colored glasses and watch out what you commit to. You could be overcommitting to something. Ten of Cups in reverse suggests that the timeline that you're working on right now is really one where you're maybe overcommitted to something that's not serving you. Yeah. You may be overcommitted to something that's not serving you, and in fact, all it's doing is it's just public recognition. Like, it's something that it's not serving you emotionally, but it's serving you in the sense of people are acknowledging the stuff that you're doing, and you're able to sort of like push things into the outer world, but it's not speaking to you on an emotional level, Libra. And you're starting to tap into something that you're like, I don't know if I want to commit to this anymore. I don't know if I want to commit to this anymore. And it's almost like there's a part of you not sure, and you're clinging to the shorelines a little bit here because you're not sure if you should stay or go. Wow. But you know what? It's funny. It's almost like it's going to come to a head this week, Libra. It's almost like someone's going to put a document in front of you and you're going to have to decide whether or not you sign it. And it's like signing it means you're staying committed. Not signing it means you're out. And you're not sure. But it involves some healing. There's something that needs to be healed here, my dear Libra friends. You've got two sixes. You've got the Six of Wands and the Six of Swords. And it's almost like one is saying, what's going on in the external world? And the other one is saying, what's going on in the internal world? And it's like your attention needs to be on what's going on in the internal world right now. The external world may be distracting you. There could be things in the external world that are sort of pushing you to go for this commitment, because it's like status quo. Like I said, it's always been there. But then it's like, if it's not emotionally satisfying and you question the motives of that and you find out that it's just based on nostalgia and like history, like you and this individual maybe have a lot of history together, then you need to go away and understand the truth before you make that commitment. You need to understand why you are reinvesting in a situation with this individual or this experience. Why are you reinvesting in it if it's not emotionally satisfying? That's the question. Why are you emotionally investing in something that's not emotionally satisfying? Is it for appearances? Is it appearances? It might be. Maybe it's a marriage and you're like, what is divorce going to look like? I don't want to go there. Tower. You've got to go there. Holy moly. Yeah. If this is about public perception only and like you're sticking around in this situation and reinvesting in it and recommitting to it just because of how it will look if you walk away, that's what I'm picking up on here, is that there's a significant truth here about this situation that you need to face. You need to face the truth of what this situation is teaching you about yourself. Because that tower is coming down, and those truth lightning bombs are going to start being ever present around you this week. This is coming to a head this week for Libra. Let's have a look here at that tower. Can we clarify that tower card, please? Thank you. 5 of Cups in reverse. How many times have we seen this today? This is an emotional loss that you don't want to accept. What about this 6 of Swords? They have to heal from the emotional loss, right? Yes, exactly. So there is a sense of you here that needs to tap into your intuition and understand that things are going to feel uncomfortable and unknown, and there could be things hidden from you here, Libra. Excuse me as I clear my throat. There could be things hidden from you that you need to talk about. Things hidden from you that your intuition is aware of, but you are not on a non-intuitive level. You're not aware of these things, but they need to be brought into your awareness. You need to accept some emotional losses here and not worry about what the public is going to think. Who cares what other people think? You're the one that has to live your life, right? Oops. Okay. Now, let's see what the Oracle deck says. Unfinished symphony. Yeah, there is something here that is not quite, I don't know. It's like you're reinvesting in something that's loopy. It's like it's unfinished. But I think it's coming to an end. I think whatever this is, it is going to be finished. It's unfinished right now, but it's on its way to being finished. Because this is a 10 card, and you got the 10 of Cups in reverse as well, which says unsatisfactory, not emotionally committed, not the ending or outcome we want. It's unfinished. There is something left here for you to do or work on, and I'm concerned you're going to recommit before you do that, because I see the Hierophant here in reverse. You've got to watch out what you commit to this week, my Libra friends. Don't overcommit. Don't sell yourself short, right? Make sure what you're committing to is something you want to keep going, not something that you feel is finished, right? If you feel like it's unfinished and you want to stick around and finish it, then finish it. But if it's finished, what are you doing? You're just sacrificing your own emotions at that point. This is very, very interesting, Libra. I would say the guidance for you this week is to be careful with making any commitments. Watch and tap into your intuition. If you're going to make any commitments, consult your intuition for sure. And maybe try to get some distance from the situation before you make a decision. Okay, Libra? Wow, very, very interesting. Okay, let's keep trucking. We got 2 left. We've got Scorpio and Sag. We're gonna hit Scorpio next. Ooh, sorry, someone's honking outside. What's going on? Traffic jam on a Sunday? Okay, let's see what's going on here for Scorpio, Sun, Moon, and Rising for the week coming up. What are the messages that are relevant for Scorpio to hear this week? Scorpio, Sun, Moon, and Rising. Okay, let's get started here for Scorpio for June 28 to the 4th of July. Okay, Scorpio, let's see here. Well, Scorpio, it looks like you are embarking on a very new path of mental understanding. And it's coming from the end of a path that was very inspired but exhausted you. You are starting fresh from the end of something. So truly, Scorpio, you are experiencing a new beginning that is coming from an ending. Okay? Very nice. And the pathway you're on right now is to understand yourself through this loopy situation that keeps coming up all the time. It's almost like you're of 2 minds of something, and you need to just use your you need to use your sword to cut through that red tape. So right now you need to bring into balance this new formulating perspective that you have that has come. It is emerging from the ending of something else. something that took a lot of energy and effort, and you're happy to put those 10 wands down so that you can start over again. But in order to start over again, it's almost like you've run into your first roadblock, which is, how do I get this off the ground? How do I get this off the ground? Which, like, you're looping, there's red tape. And the red tape is sort of causing you to feel opposing forces. It's like you're in a tug of war of your own making. And the action you're being guided towards in order to sort of get out of that loop-de-loop is there's a truth you have to face honestly before going forward, which is represented here in the Five of Swords in reverse. The Five of Swords in reverse says that you're resisting facing that truth, but you gotta. And it's going to initiate another page here, an emotional page. You could be having a baby, you could be getting married, you could be... this card always makes me think of babies. So there could be a Scorpio, they're having a baby, and you've got to prepare for that baby. So you've got to shift your mental thought, you've got to put down all of this wand energy that you've been carrying, because now you have to readjust your focus. You could be feeling sort of lost in the sense of being pregnant maybe, or in the sense of giving birth to this creation, if it's not a baby but like a new project. But there is something new, feels like a baby to me, but it looks like you've got to face a truth first. There's a big truth you've got to face before you go forward, and that will help you sort of be ever present and ready for this huge life transition that's coming on an emotional level. Okay, so that's beautiful. Let's see what the major arcana is here for Scorpio for this week. What is the major arcana influence energy here for Scorpio? Justice. You're trying to decide if something is fair. So it looks like you're reviewing this old path that you just finished, and you're trying to evaluate what was right, what was wrong, what did I do well, what could I have done better, what did other people, what was their role, was that fair, was I treated fairly, was I treated unfairly? This may be the truth you have to release before you go forward into your new path. So it's like you're trying to understand the truth about all of this so that you can move forward understanding what it all was designed to teach you, and then you can let it go. And it's almost like that's exactly what you want to do. You just want to look at it again so that you can understand it for the last time, and then you never have to pick up that book or watch that movie again because you got it. You know? It's like you just want to revisit the past one more time to make sure that you understood it for what it was and get what you need from it, face the truth, and then you can feel like you can move on to the baby or this new project. Let's see, what is it that Scorpio has to face before they move on? They have to face a betrayal, and they have to do so with patience. Either you were betrayed or you were involved in something that betrayed or separated someone. Maybe you separated from someone. There could have been a conflict here that the separation was necessary, and now you're starting to see the truth behind it. Yes. Scorpio, you know what? It looks to me like maybe there was a separation. You and someone separated paths, and now you're starting to see the truth behind why that separation was necessary. And it's been challenging for you to even think about this situation because it was kind of painful. But now you're sort of doing that with this beautiful Sagittarius energy of patience. And you're starting to say, okay, I think I finally understand why was that conflict necessary? Why was that separation necessary? And it's like you're starting to understand why it was necessary. And it was so painful, but this examination that you're doing is showing you that everything has a purpose. Like everything is part of a plan, and we just have to be sort of going with the flow and patiently going with the flow without too much attachment to outcomes or attachment to people in some cases. Whoops. And I see that for you, Scorpio, it's almost like the separation was so painful. This conflict and separation was so painful, but I think you're starting to see that it was fair and it was just. And it wasn't designed to break you. It was designed maybe to teach a lesson, and then that's it. And then you learn the lesson and you move on and you have your baby, or you do something creative, whatever it is that you're giving birth to. You're giving birth to something transformative. I think for some of you it could be a baby. Why don't these want to shuffle? That's so funny when the cards refuse to shuffle. I'm still trying to figure out what that could mean. Okay, so what is the oracle message for Scorpios right now? I'm going to take both of these. Mending and to be fair. That is impressive. To be fair, come on, that's justice, right? Very Libra energy. To be fair is you are trying to figure out, it's the same, look, they're both the same. Sorry, there we go. Scales, you're weighing things out. You're trying to figure out what was fair, what was just, and then you're going to heal from it. You need to heal from it. That's part of this. You have to uncover the truth, face it honestly, and then heal from it and let it go so that you can move forward onto this beautiful Page of Cups, right? There's something transformative coming in for you, Scorpio, but you have to heal from something in the past first. Something that you're right now doing an examination to say, was it fair? What was my role in this? What was the other party's role in this? Was it fair? Was it just? Even though it hurt like hell, was it necessary? Yes, I think it was. You know what I mean? This is beautiful, Scorpio. Best wishes to you as you walk this path. It's very auspicious, though. Lots of beautiful beginnings, but a difficult truth to be faced first, and some healing as a result of understanding the justice and necessity behind whatever it was that really hurt your feelings and made you feel maybe rejected, because conflict and separation can leave us feeling kind of rejected, can't it? Okay, last reading of the day. For those of you who have made it to the end, thank you for staying with me. And for those of you who maybe didn't catch your star sign or one of your rising or your moon sign, then this will be on YouTube, and it will also be on Instagram once it's finished on live. So let's do our last reading of this Sunday, and I'll be back next Sunday, always at noon, Mountain Standard Time, live on Instagram. Let's see what's coming up here for Sagittarius for this upcoming week. Okay, Saggy. Let's see. Okay, Sagittarius. What is coming up for you? Looks like you're also doing some stuff that involves a brand new identity for yourself. You are carving out a new sense of who you are. And it is different, it is new, and it's a very beautiful new beginning for you, Sagittarius. It feels to me like you're on the pathway right now of manifesting an opportunity of wealth, prosperity, and success. You are working towards something that is going to be an observable thing in your life. The thing about the Pentacles is that it's something observable. It's something in the 3D world. It's something that you can see, touch, taste, smell, whatever. Like it's real. It's something tangible, right? Like it's not intuition. It's not inspiration. It's not emotion. It's not sort of something that is left up to the interpretation. This is something that I can see, like, oh, you got a new car, or oh wow, look, you bought a new house, or you got a new job, or you decided to completely change your look, like you've totally changed. You've changed. That's the kind of thing. Like someone would come up to me and be like, oh my God, I barely recognize you. Or, holy, you live in this part of the world now. Yeah, something new is coming up. And the truth behind it is very beautiful. It's the Page. You were paying attention to the energies. You've been paying attention to this raw energy. You've been paying attention to something that came to you very gently. It's almost like it came to you as an inspiration to change your life, and you're following it, which is so nice to see, because sometimes we don't follow it. Sometimes we get too scared, but it looks like you're following it, Sag. Now the interesting thing about it is that the sort of the pathway you're on to understanding how to bring all of this new identity into fruition is that you have to use your intuition. So your intuition is sort of feeding your more physical self right now, but you're having a hard time listening. You're having a hard time hearing and listening and understanding what your intuition is trying to tell you. And the action you're being given as sort of guidance to tackle that issue is to tap into creating a line between the last two dots, right? This masculine wand energy, the two of wands, to me is really like there's only one way forward, okay? It almost looks like you could choose when you see a two, but no. If you look carefully at this card, that's you holding a wand and an orb. And then who's this? Whose hand is that? That's someone else. Someone else or something else is going to come in, and you're going to have to decide if you allow it to inspire you and participate in this dynamic or not. You could choose no. You could definitely say no, but you might say yes because it's upright. So it's almost like, are you open to a conscious collaboration with someone who could be like an ally or a supporter of whatever this vision is? Or are you closed? Are you closed or open? My gut is telling me that you're not sure if you can trust anyone with this, because you're not even really trusting your own intuition at this point. You're still sort of in disbelief that your intuition is guiding you, or you don't know how to tap into it quite yet. You don't know how to quiet the mind just yet to tap into that intuitive part of yourself, the feminine intuitive part of yourself that's very creative. Right, Sagittarius, like you're a masculine energy, so you're more used to being, in a position where you're creating structure rather than being in flow. Being in flow is challenging for you, and so you'd much rather be in structure mode. But ironically, this Ace of Pentacles that's upright is also feminine energy, but maybe it's because it's grounded in the practical world. It makes more sense to you. It's grounded in the physical world, so it makes a little bit more sense to you than something that is intuitive based, where you're like, I can't see, taste, touch, or smell that. I don't know if it's real. I don't know if it actually exists. Well, it does exist, and it's knocking on your door trying to get your attention right now, and it's almost like it wants to participate. And it's like the guidance card for you, the action you're guided to take here is to play, is to have fun, is to enjoy it and participate. Start to let spirit be involved. That's who that is. This hand is spirit, and it wants to add a wand. It's like, hey, good for you. I'll support you. I'll give you a leg up. Here's your second wand. And you're like, okay, or should I take it? I don't know if I should. In my intuition, I don't know really what to do with that yet. And the final guidance for you is to face the challenge of, do I stay or do I go? Are you going to stay in the status quo, or are you going to go for this new start? It's almost like you've made it to the 7, doing what you do now. And then all of a sudden, it's like, hey, there's an opportunity to start something brand new. Do I go for it or not? Should I stay here with my 7 in the bush, or 1 in the hand? 7 in the bush, 1 in the hand, right? Probably logic would say stay with the 7 in the bush. But you know what? Your logic isn't what's guiding this. Spirit is guiding this. Intuition is guiding this. There is a power guiding this that is saying, no, take the 1. Take the 1 in the hand over the 7 in the bush. That sounds funny. I like saying that. Okay, let's see what the major arcana influence is here for Sagittarius. What is the ever-present energy here for Sag on this situation? The Magician. You are going to manifest so many things to assist you. You've just got to get your head in the game in terms of what you're saying to yourself about this. What are your I am statements right now? Are you saying I'm enough, I'm abundant, I'm prosperous, I'm healthy, I'm wealthy, I'm free? Or are you saying I'm not enough, I'm scared, I'm vulnerable, and I'm insecure, What are you saying? You got to tap into this because it actually makes a huge difference. It's one of those things that you might not buy into yet, Sag, because you're sort of thinking to yourself again, like if I can't see it or touch it, it might not be real. But I think you're starting to see that manifestation is a real thing, but you have to really, really believe that you're already there before it materializes. It's like you have to believe it, even though while you look over the edge of the cliff, you can't see it. But once you put your leg out, the step will manifest. The step that you need to rest your foot on will appear. You just have to go for it. Once you go for it, everything will line up. But you gotta watch what you're talking to, how you're talking to yourself about this. Okay? Now, what do they say? Yeah, you're done. You are super done with whatever path you're on now. This Seven of Pentacles that you're like, should I stay? Should I go? You're so tired of carrying it all on your own. You feel completely overwhelmed and overburdened by the path you're on now. It's really time to change it up. You need to change it up. Now, what about this Queen of Cups in reverse? What's going on here? Why is this Queen of Cups in reverse? Whoa, whoa, whoa. Easy, easy, easy. Queen of Cups is in reverse. Why? Okay, let's see. She's in reverse because you're stubborn. You are very much an unswayable force. You are very hard to change the mind. It's hard for people to convince you of anything. And even your imagination screaming at you, go for it, go for it, go for it, go for it. You're like, I don't know. But you have to take a leap of faith. Like I just said, see that cliff? The second that fool steps with his next leg, another step is going to appear. He is not going to go tumbling into his death. No, he's learning about himself. This is 0. See, the number of the card is 0 in this deck. This is naive. This is blank slate. This is brand new start. This is your Ace of Pentacles. This is you starting something brand new and having the leap of faith. You got to take a leap of faith in yourself here. But it's challenging because you're tired and you got the devil whispering in your ear that you can't do it. That you should just stick with the 7 in the bush and not the 1 in the hand, because you're like, the devil is always wanting pleasure. This card is Capricorn energy. So you could have a placement in Capricorn, or you could just be feeling highly influenced by your ego. Your ego doesn't want to be outside of the comfort zone. Your ego wants pleasure all the time. It cannot be satisfied, ever. It's a constant loop of crave, satisfy, crave, satisfy that craving, more craving, satisfy that craving. It's like, it's never going to be satiated. You're never going to fill the ego up to the point where it says, I'm good. Let you go ahead and focus on what you want to focus on. I'm satisfied. Never, 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 never. And you could also be dealing with trying to escape from some of this. Sometimes that's the devil energy too, is this procrastination and escapism. Sometimes people escape into things that please their ego, like shopping, spending money, maybe doing some drugs or having sex, or I don't know. There's lots of funny, destructive things that we do to distract ourselves from the important stuff, because we just want to feel pleasure. We don't want to feel pain. We want to have a comfortable existence, right? So, but right now is a time for you to start a new path. So try not to let this get too distracting, and really focus on the fact that you've got a very strong imagination saying, go for it, go for it, go for it, go for it, do it, do it, do it, do it, do whatever I'm inspiring you to do. And if this is resonating for you, I wonder what that is. Wonder what do you want to get up to, Sag? Let's see, what do the Oracle cards have to say about this situation for Sagittarius? One more shuffle. Okay, let's see. What else? What do the Oracle cards want to say? Building blocks. Yeah, you are totally building yourself a brand new situation. This is the beginning of a new path that you are building brick by brick. And it all started with this emerging energy that said, we got to do something different. It's time to end a cycle because we're pooped. We're so tired of carrying all these wands. And it's time to walk away from the 7 in the bush and take up this 1 in the hand here. Okay, it's time. And then all of a sudden your imagination's like, I've got ideas. I've got lots of ideas about what we could do. And, you know, you got to take that leap of faith. It's the next chapter of your life. So you got to kind of go with it and participate. But I know that it's challenging you on some levels. But you know what? Try to be more flexible. Right now, mentally, if the Queen of Swords is resonating for you, then that means that you're being kind of stubborn. But your ideals are really high. So having high ideals is not a bad thing. High ideals are good. But the thing is, when our ideals are really high, then sometimes we're unswayable. We can't be convinced to do anything other than what we want to do. And sometimes we get really wrapped up in our ego. And if you get wrapped up in your ego, you're not going to feel like you can connect to spirit enough to understand what your intuition is trying to tell you so that you can manifest your new path. See how the cards all tell the story here, right? So you've got to really remember that you're building this. You're manifesting this. So try to tune in. Are you paying attention to the devil in you or the fool? Be the fool. Look at how cute the fool is. The fool knows that when he steps past, like, look, he's not even looking down. I love the fool. He's looking up at the sky and walking on this crazy ledge that is like a cliff. But look at it, he's got his puppy and his little bag of stuff, and he's holding a flower. He's so cute. And he knows that the step will be there when he needs it. He just keeps walking. Yeah? That's you. Keep moving, and keep building. All right, I'm going to leave it at that. Thank you so much for joining me this Sunday, you guys. I'll be back next Sunday, 12 p.m., noon, not Eastern time, sorry, Mountain Standard Time. That's Alberta time for anybody who is wondering. Alberta, Canada time. And I'll be back at noon every Sunday. I'll be here doing the 12 zodiac signs, the 12 placements for messages for the upcoming week, so that you feel like you have a nice guiding message to take you through your week. And I will have this available on Instagram TV and on YouTube. On my channel, Blue Rose Energy Healing on YouTube. If you haven't already checked it out, there's free readings on there all the time. And I go into much more detail than I do on these lives. So, and those readings will always be there for you, always free, and always for your, for you to access whenever you need them. So, and if you are interested in a personal reading, you can always direct message me here on Instagram or email me energybluerose@gmail.com, and we can set up a personal reading, which will go into a great amount of depth, specific to whatever it is that you have questions about. I offer personal readings for $55 if they're recorded, or $111 if they're on Zoom, which is live. We can chat live. The Zoom ones usually go for about 60 minutes or 90 minutes and at $111, and I usually end up doing the recorded ones for, sometimes they are about an hour, 40 minutes to an hour for $55. So you got lots of options. You got short free ones here on Instagram, a little bit longer free ones on YouTube, and very specific ones meant for you specifically for your personal readings. Okay, thank you again for joining me, everyone. Have a wonderful Sunday. I hope you're enjoying your day, and I hope you have a wonderful week. Okay, sending lots of love and light, my friends. Thank you so much for joining me today.